Hello everyone and welcome to my channel where I will be discussing the latest football content, transfer rumours and even play games as well. But I'm here today to make my early prediction for how the 2024-2025 Premier League season will end and the table and how I think it will end. Okay, so first place for me, I think Manchester City. They're just very, they always find a way really, don't they? So I just feel like Manchester City, once again, they're going to win another Premier League, the fifth in a row, I think. I think that's going to happen. Once again, in second place, I'm going to go for Arsenal. As much as I hate to say it as a Spurs fan, I just feel like Arsenal, they have so much power, loads going forward, best defence in the league last year. And I just feel like they're going to just keep improving, really, aren't they? So that's what I feel. And yeah, that's how I think the top two is going to be so far. In third place, very, very controversial, I've gone for Spurs. I just feel like under Ange Postecoglou, we've got so much to prove. And, there's lots of people that are going to doubt Spurs for next season, but I just feel like Tottenham next season are going to show a lot more than they did this season. And I feel like their form will, be very good and determine where they will finish. So for that reason, I have gone for Tottenham in third place. In fourth place, I've gone for Liverpool. I just feel like under Arne Slot, he's not Premier League proven. Though he may be a very good manager, I just feel like the Premier League might be a bit overwhelming for him, and I just feel like Liverpool are going to come in fourth place, and I just feel like that's a fair prediction, really. In fifth place, I've gone for Chelsea. Another rival of Spurs, but I feel like under Enzo Maresca, he's a very young, exciting manager. He hasn't been tested yet, and I think appointing him is very smart, as he was Pep's assistant. I just feel like Chelsea have made a very bold but smart move here, and I just feel like he's going to get them in fifth place and a very good spot for his first season at the club. In sixth place, I've gone for Aston Villa. I just feel like their Champions League run, I think they'll get a little run in the Champions League, but I think it may affect their season a little bit like it did to Newcastle. But I think Aston Villa will do better in the Champions League than Newcastle did. And for this reason, I have gone for Aston Villa in sixth place. In seventh place, I've gone for Man United. I just feel like if they don't keep Ten Hag, they need to make a good appointment as manager. But I just don't see much in Man United right now. I know they've just won the FA Cup, but I just don't really see a lot in Man United at this moment of time. I just feel like the club is kind of going down. But I don't want to say that to Man United because I find them alright, to be fair. But I just feel like Man United are going to come seventh place, just about clinch a Europe spot. In eighth, I'm going to go for Newcastle. I've gone for Newcastle because I feel like, what Eddie Howe has set the foundations at the club. I just feel like they need a leader in the team. They've got Guimaraes, they've got Isaac, but they need a leader. I think someone needs to really step up in that team to give them a bit more. But eighth, still nonetheless very good for Newcastle, but I just feel like they should be pushing now for the European spots, which I wouldn't put it past them if they get the top 7. In ninth place, I've gone for Iraola's Bournemouth. Very good team. And all I see is Bournemouth going forward. I really do. And I feel like in the next 5 or 6 years, they will be challenging for the European spots. Maybe not the top 4, but obviously not the top 4 or top 5. I just feel like they'll be challenging for that 7th place, really. In the next 5 or 6 years, they'll be going up. Iraola, young manager, very good manager. And I rate him a lot, to be fair. And I feel like Bournemouth are only going in one direction. In 10th spot and just about making it in the top half of the table, I have gone for Wolves. Gary O'Neill's Wolves. I feel like Wolves also a very good team under Gary O'Neill, and Bournemouth letting him go I think it was a very bad decision, to be honest. But obviously we moved past that now, and I think that Wolves are only heading in one direction. I mean, they've got a good defence, they've got a decent midfield, and I think they need a bit more in attack. But I feel like 10th place and getting into the top half of the table is very good for Wolves. In 11th place, I've gone for Oliver Glasner's Crystal Palace. Wow. I mean, they shocked me last season. I mean, I just feel like Eze and Elise, there's two very good players. Young, exciting, very good to watch. I just feel like if Palace let them go this summer, it's not going to... I don't think it will affect them, to be honest. I feel like they've got quality in that team. Mateta, I mean, he's been scoring goals for fun lately. I mean, near the end of last season, but I just feel like a good decision is to put Palace in 11th. I just feel like it's sense, to be honest. 12th place, I've gone for Brentford. And I've gone for Brentford in 12th because I feel like last season was definitely a blip in... I think it shocked most people, to be honest, but Ivan Toney back as well. I think that was also a shock that Brentford didn't get higher last season. But I feel like them making it into 12th is likely for me. And I just feel like Brentford will have a much better season than they did last season. In 13th place, I have gone for West Ham United. I mean, appointing Lopetegui, I think is a smart move, but I don't know if it's going to work out because I feel like players like Kudus and Bowen are maybe leaving as well. There's definitely going to be clubs on the lookout for them too. And I just feel like it's not because of Moyes leaving, it's just I don't see much potential in West Ham. I mean, I do, but like not a high amount. I just feel like 13th is probably where they're going to come. And in 14th, which it shouldn't really be a shock to anyone, Brighton. De Zerbi leaving is a massive loss. I mean, he had a very average season last season, but it's a huge loss for Brighton. And Matoma obviously injured for most of the season, to be honest, but he's a big player. I feel like clubs would definitely be in for him as well. These players, these clubs need to hold these players because if they don't, it's not going to be a good thing and they're not going to have good seasons because these players make the teams. I mean, that's where I see Brighton coming, to be honest. I just don't see anything in them. But obviously, yeah, that's 14th place for Brighton in my opinion. But 15th place, I've gone for Fulham. A big shock, you may think. But you've got to also think that players like Jimenez and they're not good enough for Fulham. They're not good enough for Fulham. Muniz is obviously a very good player. I mean, he's young. He's pretty good as well. Scoring goals, loads of goals. Like, he started off pretty slow at Fulham, but started scoring goals like Mateta did at Palace when Mateta found his form. But I feel like Fulham are just on the down. Palhinha is definitely going to be leaving, in my opinion. Though he signed a new contract, I just feel like I see Palhinha at bigger clubs and better clubs. And I see Fulham not going in a good direction. And I think Marco Silva could even get sacked next season. In 16th place, I've gone for Nottingham Forest. And I've gone for Nottingham Forest because I feel like Nuno has got enough to keep them up. But I don't think it's going to be up by that much. I think this relegation battle this year is going to be very close. Between maybe even 17th to 19th place. Not 20th, I think. The team I've got in 20th, I've got a pretty good idea why they'll be in 20th. But I just feel like Nottingham Forest will come 16th and survive just about. And in 17th place, a shock. I've gone for Southampton in 17th place to survive. Russell Martin, I think he's got a lot of potential to be a good manager. And I just feel like Southampton, they've got some very good players, such as Edozie. You know, they've got young players, they've got good players, and to beat Leeds, a very good Leeds team that consisted of Somerville, Perot. I just feel like Southampton, they're on the high. Not too much of a high, but I think they'll have enough to stay up. And in 18th place, Everton. I mean, it's not that I dislike Everton, which I mean I do. I hate Everton, but I just feel like, they've been in relegation battles for the last few years now, and I think it's with the Premier League and teams getting stronger and stronger. I just feel like Everton will not have enough next year, and I just feel like they will get relegated. Maybe about 1 or 2 points, but just about they will be going down. 19th place, I've gone Leicester City. I mean, they've just let Maresca go to Chelsea, which is, he guided them to top of the championship, but pretty much dominating. But at the end of the championship season, I mean, they did lose a bit of form, but I just feel like it's not going to be enough for Leicester this year. The players like Dewsbury Hall are going to be leaving as well. I just feel like they're too good for Leicester at the moment, and I feel like that losing Maresca as well is pretty big. It's going to have pretty big effect as well. Last place, Ipswich Town. I mean, McKenna has just literally today signed a very big deal with a salary rise at Ipswich, but I just feel like I haven't watched them enough to see how they would do in the Prem, but I just feel like it's going to be one of them seasons. I mean, it's going to be like Sheffield United last year, I think. I just don't think Ipswich will have enough next season, and yeah, that is my tier list. So yeah, let's run through it again. City first, Arsenal second, Spurs third, Liverpool fourth, Chelsea fifth, Aston Villa sixth, Man United seventh, Newcastle eighth, Bournemouth ninth, Wolves 10th, Palace 11th, Brentford 12th, West Ham 13th, Brighton 14th, Fulham 15th, Forest 16th, Southampton 17th, 18th, Everton 19th, Leicester, and 20th, Ipswich. And yeah, that is my predictions for next season. Early ones, not confirmed yet, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.